Okay, check. Everything looks good. We're back. It's been a couple weeks. We are rolling again. All right. So, previously in the GodBreaking, if I can recall correctly, it's been a long time. You guys wrapped things up in Elysium, and I don't remember. Did you guys get any items or anything? I don't remember how we ended. I should probably check the video.
We got that super powerful.
So, didn't my whitey tutties get they turn more into I don't know, a speedo?
Speedo?
Water
they're made out of
purposes.
waterproof. Water.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, I remember that
100%
whenever I'm in the tidy whities with him, that my lightning does double bit damage.
It's the weirdest thing too. Also, there's it has a pocket on the side.
A pocket.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
But the double lightning was the bigger part, but it also comes with a pocket.
So for just for canon purposes, your tidy whities are 100% cotton, and they become mildly transparent when wet.
Joke's on you guys.
Dude, I just imagine Deimos as Homer Simpson in his tidy whities.
I'm just trying to figure out how this is working with all the Elwyn Octopus action happening on Deimos right now.
Oh, that's right.
Deimos
There was a
is
bunch of that.
dead now. Deimos is dead on the inside. He doesn't.
Oh, that's right. Deimos has a tentacle.
You could watch. He could just watch Anakin kill all those little younglings, and I just not bat an eye at this point. I don't care.
I totally forgot about that. Dude,
That's right.
I was like the most passive aggressive girlfriend Deimos ever had. I kept in the Tempest anger until I let it out with the octopus.
I tried really hard to make it more pleasurable for you, but I failed, unfortunately.
Oh man, yeah. So last time we played, you guys passed through the portal and entered Lunaria, which is the first. Let's see, is this all loaded? Can you guys see this? Yes.
Yep.
The first.
Tis black.
Plane.
Oh, it may be loading.
The first plane on Mount Elysium or Mount Celestia. And it's officially called Lunaria, not Lunia. I had it Lunia before. I think in Forgotten Realms the actual name is Lunia. But I changed a bunch of the names, so Lunaria it is. Where's my picture? There it is. Okay. So you guys splash into the water, and as you landed, it was a massive whirlpool with torrential waters, unlike any you've encountered before. You guys went through a lot of different efforts trying to get out. Adis, you transformed into a dragon, but only start being pulled under. Deimos, I think you were sinking, and Renly turned into some kind of underwater creature to try to swim around. Somehow, Elwyn, you got turned into an octopus and flung at Deimos at hurtling.
Oh yeah, because
I got out, and then I got octopus dude and back into the water.
I turned into a leviathan, and then I grabbed Elwyn, who could not breathe and was starting to suffocate. So I turned him into an octopus, and then he leashed himself back to Deimos, who was then grappled along many orifices with Elwyn's tentacles.
That's right.
I think it was eyes, nose, ears, butt, and.
I mean, there were some ones in that roll of 20s.
I think he had like a 1, 2, 3, and a 4 or something crazy like that.
Yeah, they were all really low. And in sequence.
Deimos, you're pregnant.
Oh man.
You're welcome.
So, Deimos, you currently have giant octopus Elwyn wrapped around you, tentacles. You've lost count. I mean, you swear he's got more than 8 tentacles, but it's just because they are wrapped and they have squirmed their way into many deep crevices that you feel there's so many of them. Anyway, you guys are being ripped away, spun out through the water. So it's you four and Tempest. I think Adis, you managed to get them on top of a force wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think force cage, right?
Force cage.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then I think I giant eagled it, and then we flew up to the blue circly thing at the end, and that.
Okay. All right. So let's hold on a second here. Let's back it up. You guys are currently here. Let's get rid of the other point just for a second. I don't remember how we did it, but we've all taken. You're all sitting here. Let's move it further out because you guys are pretty far from the center of the whirlpool. It's so large that your sense of scope and perspective is a little bit skewed. You're not exactly sure how big it is or how far away it is, but everywhere you look around you, you see evidence of this whirlpool just ripping water away around you. You
So
guys
this
are
could be
currently
the size of a continent, then, perhaps.
the whirlpool.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure,
Oh God.
for sure. The images.
So like basically this right here. That's the Sword Coast right there.
This is New York, just over here. The square over here.
Oh, that's too big. Maybe like 1/20th that size would be New York.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so if this is the water, just flat line, we're looking horizontally. The way I think we had it, there's a force cage in play. I'd say it looks like this.
With no top.
And you guys are perched on it in various ways. So, you got, you know, Tempest. I think Adis. Which? Oh, you were in your Baruch form.
No, I was in just me form, flying. Because I had to go catch Tempest, and I had created the box around him, and then he climbed up on top of it.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, because I couldn't feel the bottom, so I used the dragon, which I got knocked out of.
Okay. Renly, are you up there with him, or are you in Leviathan form?
No, I switched over from Leviathan to Giant Eagle, so currently I'm like flying up there. Elwin is still an octopus.
Okay. So you guys are sitting on top of this box. Renly, you flip, you flutter your wings, raise them up into the air, and just take off. And as soon as you do, you get torn from the sky, and get carried off in like hurricane gale force winds. You're flapping your wings as powerfully as you
Whoa.
can. You're realizing that the suction and the torrent of this whirlpool is very much affecting the air as well as the water. You
Holy
are
crap.
spiraling, spinning, flying away out of control, off in. I think we said I was going this way. Off in this direction. Okay.
Okay.
The rest of you guys are sitting atop this force cage, and Adis, it's your force cage, but you look down at the surface of the cage, at the material, this wall, this unbreakable, arcane object, and you've been sitting there for about a minute, and you look down, and you swear you can see like spidery cracks starting to form in the edges of the cage.
Fun times.
This is highly inconvenient.
Now that I've gotten my point across, do I have control of the polymorph, or do you have to do it, Renly?
I mean, if I'm being tossed in gale force winds, I might have just lost concentration on them. So let's see. Let's assume I lost concentration.
Okay.
I doubt the
Uh,
DC would be that great.
Elwin,
Is
you are no longer an octopus.
is his hand up his rear?
Go
I
ahead,
pull
Elwin,
my
and
finger out of Damos's butt.
hold on. There are 8 appendages. Go ahead and roll. Let's see. One, two. You have four. Yeah, one arm, 2 arms, 2 legs. Go ahead and roll me 4 d20s.
Well, he's also got a head, 2 heads.
All right. So then go ahead and roll me 2 d20s. Okay. So the first 2 are left arm, right arm, right? Where location. The second 2 are left foot, right foot, and then the last 2 that you rolled are head and dick.
Oh my god.
Of where those are located wrapped around Deimos' anatomy.
What is the 1 and the 20
Aaron,
mean if you
I
drop
kind of need
those?
more details on that.
We don't need more details. That's the problem.
What does the low 6 mean?
Guys, you want to see what a cannonball looks like? As I jump into the water and kill myself.
Midas.
Just joking.
Yeah.
When Rinley gets blown away, how fast away is she going?
She's being ripped away pretty fast. You know, you're talking. These are hurricane force winds. Hurricanes can go. Man,
Oh, yeah.
full on gale force hurricanes are like 200 miles an hour, like class 5 hurricane. And
Alright.
towards the center, it would definitely be that. But this is out here. She's being ripped away very, very quickly.
Do I
About
do I have
how
enough
far
time
away?
to cast a spell?
Before she gets out of range of you.
Yeah.
Which spell? What's the range on it?
100 feet.
Make a reaction check.
So, what?
Dexterity.
Roll what? Dex. Oh, that's like my worst one. Just a check or save?
Check.
Okay.
The Oh, she got pulled away really fast.
Here, I'll just sure. Here, hold on. Oh, I don't
While
have
he
it.
does
Never
that-
mind.
I'll go ahead and cast a spell too. Do I have enough time? Mine's 200 feet range, but I'm gonna use my wish to cast Deimos Tether. But instead of Deimos Tether, I'm gonna try to tether Renly to bring her back. So it's a
Can
ninth level.
octopuses cast?
Well, I'm not an octopus anymore.
Well, no, I'm asking about when she first got blown away.
Yeah, when she first got blown
Before
away.
we bring her back.
All right, Elwin, dexterity check. Okay.
Nice.
Adis, your spell whiffs. She slips out of range too quickly. Elwin, your spell had a longer range. You look and you're able to cast it.
Okay. As soon as I feel the tether pull, it's hooked, I'll pull her right back towards us.
I squawk unseemingly as I get dragged back.
You get pulled back. Renly, you fly into the arms of Elwin. Elwin's now human arms as he wraps his arms around your giant eagle form. He has to untangle them from Deimos, of course, in the process.
I tell her,
Larry, I love her, Deimos.
don't look down. I'm
Oh.
not wearing underwear.
Me neither.
Right, and you hear a sickening crack as a large portion of the force cage gets shredded and blasted away, just disintegrating
Is it just
into
the part
small
getting hit
particles.
by the?
What?
Is it just the part getting hit by the water that's cracking?
Yeah, I mean, and the water is just like torrenting around it. So if you look at this picture here, right, the water is coming in this direction so fast, right, that it's like, it's like
That it's just-
surging. It's surging around it, splashing all around it, just ripping around the whole thing. So the whole thing is being ripped away.
All right, I'll create a new force cage underneath us up in the air.
So above you, wait. Oh, okay. So you're sitting there.
I'm gonna
As-
put I'm gonna put the bottom of this one as what we're sitting on underneath our feet, and
Okay.
then it'll go up, but I have no top.
And this
So
force
this-
cage breaks away. So the one that's in the water breaks away. So you guys are now sitting in a box in the air.
Okay.
Did anyone see the end of this? Because this felt really big. Like like when we were traveling in the sleigh and we couldn't see the end of the horizon because the horizon kept going. Like this weird water seems to be
Yeah.
going.
It's the
There,
weirdest
there's
thing.
no limit to how big this plane is, home slice.
No.
It's
I'm
infinite.
talking about this particular whirlpool.
Can I do a check of some kind, religion maybe, to see if I know anything about this plane?
Go ahead. Okay. So you know about Lunaria. So let's see here. Lunaria is the Silver Heaven. It's the first layer of Mount Celestia. The basically the convening point, the place where all the entry roads and stuff that come from Elysium enter into Lunaria. So it's the first line of defense, and also like the landing ground of a lot of pilgrims and travelers and people who are trying to pass up to the higher planes. Um, it's called the Silver Heaven. It's conjoined with the Astral Sea. It's an endless ocean of holy water that laps against its shores. Let's see here. The gods who ruled over it were Saloon, the goddess of the moon and the night sky, and Valkyr, the god captain of the seas. Let's see. Oh, the god captain of the waves, specifically. You know that it was it's a that there are multiple establishments and dwellings and cities and citadels all throughout the land. You've heard a story of the temples of Lunaria, how they are positioned perfectly to gaze up at the sky, at the brightness. So there's no moon or sun here. All there is above you shining in the sky is the peak of Mount Celestia itself, but it glistens like a star in the sky basically, and provides light to where you guys are. So at the very top of Mount Celestia is a plane Coronaeus, and that's acting like the sun and the moon on this plane. But you see, but you know that there are supposed to be temples all located all around on the plane of Lunaria. They're oriented towards Coronaeus. There's a heavy an amount of civilization. There is culture. There's a lot of it's basically like a melting pot of different species and divine messengers and representatives and ambassadors, that kind of thing.
Dude, that Mount Celestia picture is completely black for me.
Same.
For real? I
Yep.
shared it with you guys a while ago. Here, let me unshare it and reshare it.
Oh, it was always black. I never got an image.
All right, I
Yep,
am
yep.
resharing it, so it should load for you next time I share it. Okay, so that's what you know. It is a water-based continent, but all that you've read about it is talks about the culture of the land. You know, there's definitely lots of land in Lunaria, with lots of civilization on it.
Hey, could anyone try
Alright, I'll pass
teleporting
that on.
5 feet to the left?
Yeah, no.
Bro, I can teleport now. I think.
You can teleport to the vigils in Elysium.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I can teleport.
No, that's not teleporting, remember? You're doing the, what do you call it? The tearing space and time.
I just tore space and time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
That's different than teleporting. We don't have to hurt space and time.
Damo, so what are you doing?
Whipping us forward and paddling us through the air.
All right. So you put your hands out in front. You close your eyes and focus your attention on the power in your fists. You flex your pecs in a preordained order. Left,
I point
right,
him
right,
to
left,
this
right.
side. I point him to do it on that side.
Okay. And you push your hands out, and you feel heavy resistance in front of you. You put your hands out, and you can feel like the surface of the air. Your eyes are closed. Your brow is heavily beaded with sweat. You feel the surface of the air fighting you, resisting you. It's almost like a solid force in front of you.
Yes.
And you deploy the full entirety of your strength into ripping reality in front of you. And you open your eyes, and you can see that this force cage is starting to crack as well.
Oh my god.
Where your
So-
hands are touching,
Damn-
it like
damn-
splinters out like from with glass all over this thing, and this whole force cage is starting to crack.
Deimos, seriously, man? Seriously?
What? In my defense, I thought we were gonna go forward. So what's the plan of getting out of this place that's about the size of 14 different worlds, gigantic whirlpool where they stuck a door in the middle of it?
Well, I can take care of 2 of us. That's all I got.
How?
By making it so we don't die.
How?
I can turn 2 of us into air elementals.
I can turn into another elemental. That's not an issue. I feel like those hurricane winds will still tear us apart.
So the next thing I do now, me and Deimos are back on good terms. I've taken out my revenge for his little moment with Tempest. I'll let go of Renly's tether, and I'll cast the tether on Deimos again and hop in the undies. Whatever happens, we're together.
Together forever until the end, Brotonio.
Oh, wait, I got this. Oh, wait, no, that doesn't work here. Never mind.
So can we
Like 90% of my spells don't work in this plane. In these
No, right?
planes.
So
I mean, are we sure we
I
can't
feel so
teleport 5
useless.
feet to the left?
Why would you want to teleport 5 feet to the left?
Because if we can teleport 5 feet to the left, we can teleport like 500 feet away.
Sure,
Or further.
I'll try to. Since we're in the bottom of this force cage, might as well try to Misty Step up.
Misty step up.
5 feet or something.
Yeah, because I can cast it for free all at once, so I don't have to waste spell slots for it.
So you're casting Misty Step. Let's see here.
Yeah.
On this plane, the way the weave would interact with the whirlpool, with the maw of the void, is what the whirlpool is called.
That sounds charming.
Where is Misty Step?
Roll
I'm
an
gonna-
Arcana check.
Oh, okay, yeah, so 5 feet. Yeah, it's an up 2, so yeah, I can just do 5 feet up. Arcana. But
All right, you get 5 feet up. Deimos, what are you doing?
Cool.
I'm gonna contact this Bane of Butt Lords.
Oh,
no.
Midas.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
God.
cast Divination.
I wanted to cast up Mouse while I do the Misty Step.
What are you doing else?
I'm going to hold on. I need to actually look at the spell real quick.
While he's looking at the spell, Deimos does a divination with Bane.
Mhm.
Let's see here. 20 feet on a side. 10 foot. I'm gonna cast another force cage, but I'm basically gonna just take all the sides and I'm gonna have them between the back and the bottom.
Okay. So you're like doubling up the wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's my last 7th level, so that'll buy us a little time.
All right, Deimos. You cast Divination.
Yep.
You offer your magic and an offering put you in contact with a god or a god servant. You ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. The DM offers a truthful reply. Okay, what are you asking?
How the fuck do people get out of this fucking maelstrom? There's gotta be a thing, because who the fuck puts a door in the middle of a goddamn tidal maelstrom? P.S. Deimos, thank you so much.
Don't thank Bane.
1 second here.
I'm sucking up to him so I can tickle him later.
Oh, then I approve.
Hey,
Take that kind of treachery. I'm gonna treacherify your armpits later.
That sounds bad.
All right, 1 second here. Okay. All right.
I found that laugh ominous.
All right. All right. So Damos, you offer that request up into the ether.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Who's gonna tell me terrible things? Okay. Fucking
Alright, so-
assholes
so-
in the heaven.
a half second goes by, and you hear a voice come through to you. You're the only one who hears it. It goes. Oh, sorry, Mr. Bain cannot come to the speaking communication device right
Oh
now.
my god.
Me, Cornelius. I'm taking his messages. What do you want? I just. Oh, you want? Oh, you're stuck in the maelstrom. Oh, yeah. It wasn't supposed to be that way. It was. There used to be a nice bit of land there. It was right in the middle of a continent. There was a nice welcoming area, reception, lots of like finger foods and snacks. I came through that place many times myself. That was the main gateway. Yeah, it all got blasted to shit.
Disconvenient.
So that was your answer. He's like, oh, here's a selfie of myself just in case you wanted it.
Give me that selfie, asshole. What the fuck are you?
My name's
you not-
Cornelius. I help Bane. Thank you.
Okay.
He doesn't look all there. All right.
I don't think Bane's people graduated high school. Well, guys, fun fact, I just found out something. There used to be land here, and now there's not anymore.
That's not helping. Ow.
Yes.
So I guess the land is down that whirlpool? Or whatever's left of it.
well, I don't think we would get there in 10 minutes otherwise. I'd say let's go check it out.
But hey, you got to disappear and appear 5 feet away.
Can we see? So in that picture that you showed us, Midas,
Mm-hmm.
are there actual like big protrusions of like what appear to be landmass sticking out of the water?
They are moving. They are orbiting slowly around the whirlpool, being ripped apart by the water itself, and they're swirling. They're being flushed down into the drain like a toilet bowl. Imagine
Uh,
huge
We're
turds.
looking at turds.
Yes.
Okay.
Would it be outside the realm of plausibility to assume that everything's being flushed into the astral sea?
That's you can assume what you want.
Well, no, I mean, like, could I make a? Because in the description you said that this plane is connected to the astral sea, so.
You don't know where it's going. You don't know what's at the bottom of that whirlpool. The force cage behind you begins to crack.
Anyone prepare teleport or capture ring or something just in case for occasions like this?
Well, I have teleport. Wait, I can only teleport back to the place.
Alright.
No. I mean,
try-
teleport's working now.
Yeah, try teleporting us to the one of the rocks.
Or just a mile or two away from here, anywhere.
Yeah, I want
I
to
cast
cast.
teleport.
A
I'm gonna cast
mile or two away from here is still in water.
Okay,
yeah.
further, like think
Like
continental.
On this thing, we are smaller than the tip of this arrow.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm casting freedom of movement on myself.
Okay. And then what?
Hoping and praying.
And teleportation.
All right.
Let's see.
Can when he are you casting teleport or using the ring?
I cast teleport. The ring, I don't have it anymore.
Can I do anything to help him to make sure it works?
Are you trying to go back? Are you trying to teleport somewhere here, or are you trying to go back to Elysium?
They said try to teleport here, so
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
basically get away from the whirlpool. That's the idea.
Alright. So, Adis, you're going to aid him?
Yes.
What
if
level are you casting?
if there's some way I could aid him.
Ellen, what level are you casting teleport at?
7th.
Alright. Adis, what level would you like to assist him with?
I'll give him a 9th.
Can I also assist him with a 7th because I'll give him divine magic and it might help in this divine area?
Sure. Go ahead and all of you burn the spell slots.
And
Ooh,
I will
I'm a liar.
cast guidance on Elwyn.
I'm gonna use an 8th, not a 9th.
Burn the spell slots. Elwyn, you focus your energy. Now, you've never had more difficulty casting teleport before. Like I said, the weave is inverted in this area. It works differently. The triangulation points and how you navigate through the teleportation spectrum is different on this side of the weave. So, but you've had enough experience, and with your insight from what you learned by passing through the vigils, you think you got a grasp on it. As you begin to form the teleportation sigils, you feel Adis come up to your left side and pour his own arcane understanding into what you're doing. He lends his strength to you, and you begin casting. Then you feel Deimos step up next to you, and he closes his eyes and flexes and pushes his fist forward and punches a hole in the force cage.
Oh my god.
Teleportation at its max.
A burst of wind goes blasting through, and you all get swept backwards off the back of this cage, flying backwards. In that split second, so the wind just blasts you guys this way, as Deimos punched a hole in the force cage. It was already cracked and splintered, so that's why you're able to punch a hole, Deimos. As you go flying backwards, Elwyn, roll an Arcana check with advantage.
Acceptable.
32.
Spark that shit, yo.
A burst of arcane light blazes in front of you, Elwyn, and you feel like you just popped your teleportation cherry. Okay.
And it feels so good.
Elwyn now
shit.
has.
He's still in my
Elwyn now,
underwear.
Elwyn now has teleport as an innate ability.
Elwyn,
Oh boy.
you reach out into the weave, casting teleport, and you feel the same sensations that you did earlier. This place is very non-conducive to teleporting. It's almost as if it were maybe there was some ancient ritual or ward or something like that that reserved teleportation just for certain people. Maybe the gods set it up a long time ago so that only them or their representatives or the people they approve could transport through space and time, or through space in this realm. Whatever it is, if you feel it again, there's something hampering you. There's something keeping you from moving, limiting you immensely. But what you notice, though, is that as you focus and as you pour all your concentration into the casting of the spell, you see a fine thread in front of you, just passing in front of you. So if you look at the map, at the parchment. A fine filament, almost like a spider thread, just passing in front of you. You look up and you see a few others in the distance, just passing through this area, like that. And in an action of sheer instinct and desperation, you reach out and you grab onto the filament, and you feel the energy just surging through. Your energy just finding, it's like this energy that you're pouring out finally have a direction, finally have a focused what do you call it? It's all has a purpose now. Whereas before you're just dumping pure arcane energy out into the ether, into the realm around you, into the atmosphere around you, trying to find some kind of direction. Now you are as soon as you touch the filament, suddenly everything lines up, it locks into place, and you cast teleport, as you've never cast it before. Suddenly you and your party, all together, just sucked into your teleportation spell, and you blaze up the direction of the filament, that way. All right, you guys travel at light speed along that filament.
No other administration has teleported like this before.
You guys arrive. The place that you land at is dark. It is there's just specks of light around you, just little washes, like you're deep underwater. Oh yeah, so you're underwater.
Oh,
You
God.
notice that instantly. That's the thing. You're deep underwater. You look around and you're like in the deep sea. You guys are instantly, you feel the pressure of the water just bursting into your eardrums, so it's painful. And you also realize that the only air that you have available to you is the breath in your lungs. What do you do? You're deep underwater. You look around you. There's almost no light in the area. So you're pretty far
Reaction,
under.
I'll pop my bubble around all of us. So at least we're not moving and the pressure's not crushing us.
Okay. All right. Your lightning orb, your Tesla fraction goes up, and it does what you just said. It holds back the water, and the pressure subsides inside it. And actually, the electricity itself just begins to evaporate the water. And it comes into contact with big bursts of steam and stuff around you. It takes a few seconds, but eventually the water inside the orb begins to get evaporated enough that you guys are like up to water up to your necks, basically. Renly, you're having to tread water to float inside the orb.
Okay, I'm going back to water elemental form, and I'll just be hanging there.
Okay.
So where are we?
You found ourselves. We're in a bubble.
Are we on like? Is there like a floor underneath? Oh, here, I'll cast a light spell. Is there like ground underneath us?
Okay. So you guys are inside Elwyn's Tesla fraction. You're under the water. Actually, here, hold on. Let me do this instead. I got a different parchment for you.
This staff is using up my spell slots like crazy. I love it. I can finally use them.
All right. All right, we're gonna scrap the parchment for now because we are in a new place. And actually, I should change my token color. I'll do it later. Okay, this is where you are. Can you guys all see that?
Yep.
Okay. This is our parchment for now. Deep underwater, your Tesla fraction blazes out in front of you. You begin to burn the water away from you. So there's a little bit of breathable air. And you guys finally have a chance to look around outside. Now, the Tesla fraction glows pretty bright, but you can see outside a little bit. Everybody make a perception check.
Hate this.
It's not a skill I'm proficient with, so it would have never been high anyway.
Adis, you begin to look out the Tesla fraction. You can't see much, so you peer even harder, even closer, and you almost headbutt the wall, which would be very, very bad if you did.
Is there like ground under our feet?
Yes. It's pretty far below you, but you do see some evidence of ground underneath you. You cast light. Is that what you did?
Well, not if this thing's giving off light. If we
Yeah,
can
the thing's
see
giving
it.
off light. Okay, the thing is giving off a fair amount of light. All right, Renly, you're gazing around, trying to figure what in the world is going on here, and you see, in front of you, a being glistening off in front of you. So on the map, kind of like over here.
Okay.
You see a creature, translucent, glowing, silvery, like almost luminescent. Like the color it gives off is whitish, greenish, bluish kind of thing, right? Deep under the water, and this creature is just floating there, in the water, looking at you. And this is what she looks like.
I will share this with people so they can also stare at her back. Hi, are you the welcoming party? We have reference letters from Achilea and yes, are you the welcoming birdie? Help.
She looks at you and she gazes at you with curiosity. You see her head, this large mass that's part of her physicality, just kind of floating around gracefully in the water in front of you. She slowly, but gracefully moves forward, 10, 15 feet with just the flick of one of her appendages. As she draws closer, you can see that part of her physicality are tied to these filaments, Elwyn, that you were latched onto. They're both physical and magical at the same time. They're actually attached to her, but like they have no form. They're just like almost pure energy as part of her form. She looks at you all.
Hey,
Oh, go on.
hey, Renly, tell her not to touch the sphere. That we don't want her to get hurt, and that this sphere is just allowing us not to get crushed by the pressure.
Yes, I shared this as quickly as possible through elemental senses, so it passed through the water, and I'm like, yeah, don't touch the light thingy. It's very, very sparky.
Wait,
And
what language are you speaking?
I'm using the elemental senses because I'm a water elemental, so I'm speaking through the water.
I can also relay it primordially too.
And I can relay it in Celestial.
And Celestial Abyssal, and I also throw Common in there too.
Yeah, and some Elevation Sylvan, and we'll leave Infernal and Abyssal out, Damus. We don't want to scare them.
Okay, elemental speech. Transmitted via wind, earth, water, or heat. Works as long as the creature can understand a language. What is this? Is this a spell? No, this is a...
This is my elemental senses that then got upgraded with the Boon of Griffin's Sword. Like, this is the thing that I got during the time in the wild. Because otherwise there was no way to communicate while I was in wild shape.
Okay, so you can communicate, but as long as the creature that you're communicating with or that you are can understand a language.
Yeah, as long as the creature I'm communicating with can understand language, so she would need to understand the language.
Okay. So you're inside the Tesla fraction, and this thing makes a lot of noise. It's like the crackling of electricity. Just that's all this stuff around you. So you look around and you see Adis and Deimos shouting into this wall with in different languages. But it's all kind of like really loud inside here. You can't no one can hear really anything. Really hear anything. But you in your water elemental form just pulse the water, right? And you do it in a way that bits of the motion of the momentum are being conducted. It's not like physical energies, physical waters going through. It's just like the wave, the ripple effect is getting through the Tesla fraction, and you pulse the water, and you transmit your thoughts along the water. So what did you say?
Yeah, be careful of the shiny ball thing. It's very sparky and it can cause pain. Yeah, and are you the welcoming committee? I mean, we have a recommendation letter when you.
Okay. So as you do that, she's moving up to the orb, so you can see on the map that she's moving around on the orb, and as you pulse that out, Renly, as you communicate that via your elemental senses, she suddenly stops. She pauses for a second, and she tilts her head slightly, and you see her with her physicality, with her appendages and her tail, and that she just gently flutters them in the water. The flapping of the various pieces and veils almost that are part of her form just vibrate through the water as well, and you can feel the response in the water itself come back to you. She says, "It has been a long time since we've had visitors. You found my thread and were able to come to me. Are you our saviors?"
Well, we're new here and we come from a goddess sent us, so perhaps would you like to read the letter? How do we get out of this particular area where we can't, like, some of us cannot breathe water?
She pauses for a second, and you see a bit of concern across her face. "Cannot breathe water." You see her think for a second. She opens her eyes, and she closes, and then she raises her hands, and briefly you see her weaving her fingers through the water, and you can see in the water itself some viscosity beginning to form. And as she manipulates this substance, you can feel her almost singing and vibrating through the water. There's no sound coming out because it's underneath the ocean, but just the pattern and the way she's doing it's pulsing through the water. It's rhythmic. It's musical. She and as she does that, you can see these small orbs beginning to form, and she manipulates them until they're the size of like a pretty big balloon, right? And there in front of you, you see she's holding forth, just floating in the water in front of her, 5 orbs,
Ooh, wow.
and she says, 5 orbs. I mean, larger than your head, about the size of a large balloon. She says, "For land creatures who cannot breathe water, we have technique to help you live and swim."
You are amazing. And then I share this with the party.
She pauses. She says, "No, not my name. My name Gelly."
Gelly, good to meet you. I'm Renly.
"Renly. Here." And she gestures. She gestures, and the bubbles float towards you.
Alrighty, I'll pass this along to people so that they know. So, yes,
I'll drop
grab.
my bubble when they near the edge of it, so
Okay.
they don't burn up.
The bubble goes down, and you feel these orbs come to you, and they basically just hit you in the face, and they just kind of suck around your face until your head is inside the bubble, and inside there the pressure is gone, and the air is completely breathable, and you find yourselves suddenly just taking deep breaths of pure air. It was kind of stinky and kind of very humid inside the orb before, but now
Oh yeah, I was farting the whole time.
now you're completely relaxed, just floating in the water. She looks at you and she says, "Kelly helps. Are you our saviors?"
Can we understand her now, or just Renly?
You all can. She's actually hold on. Let me see what languages you speak. Abyssal, Draconic, blah, 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 blah. She will be speaking a version of Celestial. It's heavily distorted, very much dialectic. It's like a different dialect, almost its own language in itself, but it has
Like
enough,
Celestial,
yeah,
Primordial.
enough, enough similarities to Celestial, so that Deimos, you understand it, and Renly, since you were communicating with her through the water, it's a mixture of verbalization and also waves and beats in the water.
Okay, that's
So you
so cool.
understand it as well. So Adis, Deimos, and Renly, you're all getting bits of this. Elwyn, you have no idea what the fuck she's saying. You're getting a little bit of Ren. It sounds like static to you.
I'll translate.
Okay. So she said, that's what she said. She said, "Are you our saviors?"
Could you tell us more of what these saviors are supposed to do? Because we do have things we need to do, and they might be the same thing.
She says to you, "Saviors, our people, our world dying, our way of life gone, not much hope left, since God's left us, since since creatures came to our world, hunt us, devour us."
You're translating, right, Renly?
Totally, back and forth.
I'm gonna say, tell her. Elwyn, the fire/thunder god from the sky, and his followers are here to help you.
Slash lover.
Lightning fire god sounds much better, Elwyn.
She
Fire came
pauses.
first.
You see her eyes go. You see her eyes go wide, Elwyn, and she flutters up to you, right up to your face. Right, she's basically just right outside your air bubble, and she says, "You are God."
I give her my superhero pose.
She says.
I'm in the back, like just like his hype man.
She says, "You are God." She says, "What? What is fire?"
Again, Rensley, my secretary will translate. Renly,
Yes.
um, I say, where from where we come from, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I was known as the fire god from the sky, and I try to just uh, do a firebolt up in the air. I'm pretty sure it'll sizzle, but since my firebolts are fucking awesome, they'll throw out some heat before the water consumes them.
Yeah, you cast a firebolt, and the water basically gets hot, and it sizzles and it evaporates. It superheats the water and it evaporates it in a place right in front of you. Just this big burst of air and vapor. She she startles, and she shifts backwards, a few feet, her eyes wide. She says to you, "You have power. Destroy water."
Gilly, we have gone through many lands, many realms, and I fear that the world is collapsing, or the universe is collapsing around every single land that we visit, and every single land that we do. We help the people, the good people there, with whatever is harming them.
You are
Take us
God.
to your kind
She says,
and tell
You-
us how we can help.
"You are God. You come to Geli and Geli's people. You use Geli for your pleasure."
Go for it, Ellen.
What do you say, Renly? Because you're the translator here.
I go to it for your pleasure. I kind of stutter there. I totally stutter there.
She wants to please you, Elwyn.
Renly, tell her that our help does not need a repayment from her or her people. Whatever she's not willing to do, there's nothing she has to.
But what does she really
Renly's
want
not
to do?
Renly's not being totally honest. This lady's willing to do a whole lot for you, Elwyn.
Edwin,
I'm head tilting as I translate in water form. I'm like totally like my half my water form is like bent over, going like, what is going on? Why am I translating this? I don't wanna.
Midas,
Yeah.
can I do two things? First, a check to see if I know anything about the kind of beings that she is, and two, insight her ass to, cause she's just weird.
She's an alien creature from another plane.
All right.
spirit of
Roll,
wine around her.
roll insight and intelligence, or whatever it was you're rolling.
Can I roll something?
Would it be
Yeah.
history or religion? Would it be history or religion to see if I know
It would be. It'd be history.
Okay.
My roll.
And then insight. Nat 20.
So before you say anything, Midas, my role is going to be an insight check to see if I think Eloise would allow her to join my group, the group of ladies.
I feel like Eloise is very chill about a lot of things.
Actually, I think I hear a voice in my head. She says, yes. Weird thing, she said.
Can
We're
I
gonna make orgies like old
can I try
Roman
to can I
times.
try to thaumaturgy her voice into Elwyn's ear, saying yes?
I feel like that the harem got smaller. I think they're expanding now, so I feel like yeah.
Well, yeah,
Alright.
Elwyn, you did lose a girl. Remember, you need to replace her.
Yeah, one of them died.
You know, the mourning period has passed. You need to refill that gap where, you know, someone used to be in your.
I think it was the one with glasses. The one with glasses died. It was in
Yeah.
the airship crashed on it or something like
It's
that.
the dumb bitch.
Was it? So
The cart they were in got blasted by a demon.
that's right. That's right. They were in a convoy with the dwarves. Okay. So. Okay. So you say these things, and so let's see, Adis, history. You have no idea what they are. You have never read anything or heard anything about this. I mean, the lore of what goes on Mount Celestia is very vague. It's only been written through like the weird and insane musings of various sages who have tried to peer through the celestial barriers. Mostly incomprehensible gibberish. So, but in all that you've at least encountered, you don't really know anything about the creatures who live beneath the surface, beneath the waters of Lunaria. You know a little bit, like I said before, about the lore of what exists on the land of Lunaria, but not underneath the surface.
Okay.
But she does, as much as you can tell, as you know, just in humanoidish creatures, in your experience, sentient creatures. You're not getting any hint of malice or ill will from her. There's a bit of naivety and honestness and earnestness in her demeanor. Elwyn, so what was your insight again?
To see if Eloise would be cool if we could have a new family member, and if not, then I think I recall what conversation we had that what happens in Lunaria stays in Lunaria. So
I didn't see anything.
All right. You think in your mind of past conversations with Eloise, and and you recall, Elwyn, one time you and Eloise were walking, along the bank of a stream in Hasselin, where the dwarves had settled in, just outside of Westvane. You guys had some time to yourselves, so you had, you just went out for a walk. You brought some snacks with you, some lunch, and you had set along the bank of a stream, and you're talking there, and just something brings to her mind, comes to her mind, and you're not sure if it's your memory playing tricks with you or if it's wishful thinking, but you seem to recall her saying, just for some reason, the words come to her mouth. Elwyn, darling, if you ever by chance come across a female jellyfish, you can go ahead and fuck her.
Oh my god.
say no more.
Oh my god.
At least that's what you recall her saying.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how weak that he must have been, or high, or both.
So what
But
are you
still,
saying?
tell her that pleasure is not required, but we'll see how things go.
Okay, I'm happy to translate that.
Okay.
And not just pleasure, like any sort of payment is not required. This is what we do.
Gilly says, if you are saviors, she says, Gelly must bring you to people. Many will
Yes.
want to know. Queen will want to know.
Oh dear.
I need something.
Oh dear!
Beware. Dangers here. We travel far. Gelly is watch person. Gelly reaches out with tendrils and filaments. Try to find hope. Try to find someone who can help.
Yes. Good thing that the great fire thunder god who is so good to his followers and people and his small retinue of happy followers are here to help.
She looks at you, Deimos, and she says, you helped Gelly. Gelly's so happy. Do you want
Yes.
pleasure?
No, Elwyn. Elwyn is in charge. We are just mere secretaries.
Yeah,
He's my
Elwyn likes pleasure.
Elwyn is the pleasure god of all.
Deimos is my press secretary.
Yes. I'm the greatest. We are the best of any type of secretary ever. Don't fact check that.
We call him Smoky-Eyed Deimos.
Smoky eyed shit.
She pauses
So
for a
he's
second.
definitely not eagle too. Okay.
She says, Gelly not understand.
You
But-
let us understand. You just take us to this queen lady who might have stuff.
She says, journey far. We swim while. Many danger.
Okay.
Gelly.
Gelly,
Yes?
would you be able to put up another strand like the one that we were able to find you with, and then we can travel faster? I can just bring everyone along.
She pauses for a second. She thinks. She says, Tendril bring you to Gelly. Others from home have Tendril. We find them. And you bring us to home?
Yes.
She smiles. She says, Kelly has pleasure. We go.
And so we go.
All right, boys, power me up. I'm gonna use an 8th level.
All right, I'll add my. Well, I got my last 7th. I punched something.
Wait, have we found a tendril, or are we going to
Gelly
find
has
people who have a tendril?
started swimming off.
Yeah, we're swimming.
I mean,
Oh, I thought we were tendriling.
No, we have to find someone with the tendril to her home.
You have to find another
Oh.
tendril that leads to their home.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood. Never mind. I'm gonna take back my 8th.
I'll turn into the Leviathan and like y'all can ride me. Shut up.
I'll turn myself
five.
into a Leviathan. I'll turn me and Deimos into Leviathans.
I don't want to be a Leviathan.
And then Elwyn can ride you.
She as you guys shape change, Gelly pauses for a second. She looks. She says, "Oh, saviors are shape changers." She smiles. She says, "Shape changers be welcome in Gelly's home." And she begins to swim off again. So you guys are traveling along the ocean. You have these bubbles over your head, and you are. Let's see how you move. So you're Renly. You transformed, and Adis. You transformed into leviathans, and you guys are propelling yourselves through the water.
Yep, pretty much.
Okay. So the rest of you are holding on. Tempest is there with you. He's been kind of silent the whole time.
I'll turn him into a Leviathan then, since Deimos doesn't want to be a big, cool water elemental.
It's when I ride on top of this red thing.
He's gonna resist your spell, and as you cast it on him, you see him activate his indomitable trait, and make sure he makes the save. He's like, you just see him grit his face, and you can feel the spell just like shatter across his will. And he looks at you, and he shakes
Fine,
his head
walk
no.
then.
Yeah, and he
I ask people if they want to hitch a ride as I swim past.
he looks
Get your
visibly
ride on
uncomfortable,
what?
and he's and you see him talk. Renly, he swims up next to you, and he says, "I'm not very comfortable in the water."
Hold on to Renly,
He says,
because we're gonna 3-way ride her.
he says, "Renly, you've been kind to me. I'm going to have to lean on your strength. I'm at a great disadvantage here."
Oh, he's so weak. Only if there's a strong woman to take care of you.
It's fine. Don't worry. Yeah, hitch a ride. It'll be fine. And just
So,
hold on. It's gonna get tough.
Deimos, he
Yeah,
turns
well.
to you. He turns to you, Deimos. Deimos. Tempest turns around and looks at you.
Yes, sir.
He looks you straight in the eye as you say that, and he says, "You," he says,
Yeah.
"a real warrior knows when to ask for help.
Yep.
To help bolster his weaknesses, cover for his inefficiencies.
Yes.
When we lean on each other, we're stronger.
Of course.
You should know
It's
that."
like, I figured, but that's why we're riding at Renly, because she is our strength, and also it is a lot of fun.
I'm like totally between them.
I respect you, and it can be super cool when you're a god. But trust me on this one, is you're gonna take this cowboy hat, and we're gonna ride Renly. It's gonna be totally worth it. You gotta say yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
He says to you, "If you don't mind my asking, why the hell aren't you wearing any clothes?
I used to have some.
I can totally see your
big-ass
dick
armor.
printing through those whatever
Dude,
that is what
I'm
you're
in the
wearing."
water. If there was a wet t-shirt contest, I would lose because I have no shirt on. But it's wet.
He says,
I have no clothes. They gave me no clothes. All my shit got burnt up.
"You would never make it where I come from."
I would.
Oh,
You should
I
have seen my armor. My armor was glorious. It
I
was
do spend
amazing.
some time telling him about, our time in the previous plane, like the one before Mount Celestia and everything, like, how Deimos lost his armor by like walking through everything that was getting destroyed. Oh my god.
Apparently, you're not supposed to walk through fucking void holes of destruction.
I just thought of something.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
god.
take off one of my socks and give it to Deimos and tell him, Deimos is a free elf now. You don't have to follow Bane. You can follow me.
Oh, that's horrible and awesome.
David was going through so many traumatic things. And
You lose your clothes, you lose
he
your
lost
god.
everything.
So
You're
Deimos,
like-
The man in whitey tutties and a cool ass skull cap.
Your character sheet is so short now.
I love it.
you hear kind of in the back of your head say, like if you need help, I can help you. Bane says he didn't do shit for you, but like I can help you. Just go ahead and I'll just be coming along with you now that you were nice to me and come talk to me. I'll be with you for like the whole time now. You
This
just
is totally Bane.
Thing to do, Mr. Bane Flunky. Actually, right here. And I reach into my underwear even more. Oh wait, never mind. We don't have a fork. I said, you seem like a proper replacement for this level. You keep
no, he's
talking to me.
totally in your head. You can't. You just see this picture in your head. He's not physically around you.
I'm
I
gonna
feel a disturbance in the force.
I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna draw a picture of myself and send it to him of where I have slightly bigger pecs.
He holds, and he says, "No, look! I got it right here. I got it right here." And he holds up, in your vision. So you're the only one who can see this, Deimos. He holds up like a jar, right?
It looks like a
like
jar.
a mason jar.
Yeah.
It's kind of clear and it's filled with this bluish liquid.
Ooh.
He says, "Yeah, Bane gave this to me. He said it's the shit you like, and that whenever you try to do something and ask for power, I should just pour some of this stuff onto this spot on the ground, and you'd be able to do what it was you're asking." He says it was some of his magical essence.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Or something.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, Bane's off doing some other stuff right now, but he gave this to me. So if you need help or to use some of any of your powers, I just have to
Yeah.
pour this on this spot here, and you'll be able to do it.
Cool. Do we have an unlimited supply? I'm assuming.
He said, just in this jar. But it only takes a few drops. Sometimes you've done things that are really crazy, and I had to pour just a little bit more. But really just, a couple of drops. Like this, watch this. And he pours a drop down onto the thing, and all of a sudden, Deimos, you feel like this surge go up your back, and you get back one of your 4th level spell slots.
Holy shit. Right, you keep that shit in check, alright? You find more of this shit somewhere. Without
Yeah.
touching my shoulder. You don't tell nobody, alright? You add that to the stash. You work for me now, Bane Flunky. Alright, you don't tell Bane about this. You work
My
for
name's
me.
Cornelius.
I'm a-
If you need some, you've been
Cornelius?
really nice to me. You just
We're
ask
friends
me.
now.
I'll help you. I'll
We're
pour
friends.
more of Mr. Bane's essence onto this little spot here, and I'll help you.
Alright, but you steal some more from other gods. You do what you gotta do, alright? You work
No,
for
Mr.
me.
Bane gives me all the essence I need.
Hey, you tell him to get more. You tell him that we're out. But it's like when we run out of drugs, but we actually didn't, and we get the doctor to prescribe us more. Alright?
He
Right,
says,
you gonna tell
"Oh
we're
no,
not
my
gonna
mason
get
jar here is pretty full." He
Oh,
recharged
you
it
too,
last
mate.
time. He came in. He says, Cornelius, give me the mason jar. I'll fill it back up for you. Then he took it and he went off to his room for a little while. He came back and it was full, and we're good for a while now.
I'm just gonna leave it at that. And do not ask any more questions about the special juice. Yes. But on the off chance.
Renly,
When I call by you,
you've seen that.
Cornelius,
You've seen
my
that
friend.
seasons here, right?
Oh my god. Oh my god. I got it immediately. I was like, no.
Yep, it's fine. I guess we're using copious amounts of. I don't. It's fine. Hello, Cornelius. My
We'll
friend.
call it testosterone.
We'll call it testosterone boosting formulas.
High in protein.
He says,
High
I've been doing this for a
protein,
while.
low carb.
Mr. Deimos, don't you know? I've been doing this for a long time. Years. Every time you want something, every time you try to do one of your muscle things or help somebody get better, I've been pouring little drops here on this little plate and helping you in Mr. Bane's essence.
You're such a good guy. I very much appreciate everything you did. I believe we are good friends, and I do believe you are deserving more of good stuff.
You really think so? He says, you're so nice to me. Here. I
No,
got
save
something for
the
you.
juice.
Watch this. Here, I could do this.
Save the
Watch.
juice. Save the juice.
You've been so nice to me. I'm gonna help you out a little bit more. Here.
Alright.
And you see him pull out from underneath of one of his ribs. He pulls out a like a little vial. Here, check this out. And he takes the mason jar of essence and he gradually tips it over and pours a few drops of it into this vial, right? And then he takes like a little bit of like, I don't know, he just rips something off from his side and he stuffs it in the top of the vial, right? So he holds it up and he says, here, hold on a second, watch this here. And he reaches over and puts it into a slot on the table next to him. And suddenly, Deimos, you feel something appear stuck in like the hip of your tighty whities.
Whoa!
Oh my
Right.
god.
Wow, how'd you do that? That's dope. Hey, what is this thing?
You pull it out and you have a vial stuffed with like some cottony kind of like goopy stuff, but inside it is a few drops of this glowing bluish liquid. It says, that's some concentrated Mr. Bane's essence. If you need it, you just swig it. Just like go ahead and pop it up and drink it, and it'll like it's better than me pouring it onto this plate where like you just get it second hand. You got it right there. Just go ahead and drink it if you ever needed it.
All right, so I just added some Super Prino Bane juice to my inventory.
You have a small vial of Bane's essence.
Bro, we can use it to
It's
impregnate you.
super
Like with the
primo
turkey baster.
Bane. Yes, science. Well, I guess things can't get much worse anymore. If we keep going forward, I mean, we'll find out that actually apparently maybe it wasn't so bad before.
So all along the way, this is the only way you've been getting power. As Bane has, every time you cast a spell, you're tapping into Bane's power. So Cornelius has been up there pouring a little bit of essence onto a place on the ground, and that's been kind of filtering down through the ether and through the astral sea and getting to you, and you've been able to use your magic.
Oh, damn. Why did I pick being a cleric?
Oh god.
This
Bro.
Bane guy's a jerk.
You just jumped the spot in like the dealer
No.
ladder.
I'm gonna find so many juices, and I'm gonna have my friend Cornelius pour so many juices at once. I'll be like so juiced up, guys. Let's just find more gods and get more juices.
Tempest looks at you and says, I'm not gonna lie. You kind of disgust me.
I'm gonna cast Pepin's Undo, and I'm gonna give him a chance to restate his comment.
What is this spell? This spell allows a target within range to undo one undesirable action that he or she set in motion in the last 6 seconds. So are you doing it to Tempest or to Deimos?
Yeah, to Tempest.
He pauses for a second. And he looks at you, Deimos, and says, on second thought, he says, you do you. I'll be over here. I'll be on the other side of Renly.
Cool.
Yeah, you stay on that side of Renly.
In-
I'll
in our
I'll
defense,
ride on this side of Renly. And let's
if
make
you
sure
said the stuff we had to
as we're
go through-
riding Renly, we don't touch each other because that would just be
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah. We went through a lot of stuff. I used to be a normal person. We came in contact with this entity called Midas. It broke us. Broke us good.
So
You ride Renly over
internally, I
there.
did that.
I
for
ride Renly over
Deimos.
here. Let's just stay on the opposite sides of Renly.
Okay.
Because Deimos, eventually, I know that you're gonna, once we get Tempest all juiced up, I don't want you in him on the bad side. You know, you need your real god back. So I did that for Deimos.
Oh, thank you. Maybe I won't get fucked over by Bane so much.
Deimos, what is that you're holding?
I slip it back in my
where did
pants
that
where you
come
can't
from?
see it. Don't ask questions. My wedding ties have a pocket now. I swear I added it, and they're in there now. It's my
Oh,
holding part.
God.
All right, you guys are
It's your
floating.
vending machine slot now.
Yep.
Okay, so you guys have been swimming along the bottom of the sea, of the ocean for a while now. And as you've been traveling, you can tell that wherever you are, there's still a pretty strong current. It's a fair amount of work to swim in the direction that you're swimming, but because you're swimming against the current. Renly and Adis, as you're swimming, go ahead and make a strength check on behalf of your leviathans.
Hold on 1 second.
Let me find that sheet
D&D
again.
5e. Leviathan.
Okay, so there we go.
By the way, that was
Do I
pretty
have
good.
athletic?
Plus 10, Renly.
Oh, is it just a strength check or athletics?
Athletics is fine.
Alrighty.
Still just plus 10.
No, athletics
Correct.
gives the proficiency bonus.
Oh, it is. Okay, cool. So plus 18.
Oh, it's 30. It's 30, not 31. Yeah.
So it'd be plus 7 then?
So you guys
Oh,
are doing
wait,
fine.
that would be 30. That'd be 37, sorry.
Okay, yeah, you guys are doing fine. You're flapping along, and you feel it pretty. There's a fair amount of resistance in the flow as you're going on, but you guys are making your way pretty well. And you see Gelly in front of you.
I don't know if this matters.
Yeah.
But we also have this.
Okay, yeah. So you actually see Gelly beginning to grow tired in front of you. She starts to lag behind, and drifts backwards as you guys are moving forward.
Oh, I thought she left our asses.
No, she's just heading in direction just along with you guys.
Did you want to hitch a ride and like point the way? I asked Gelly in case she just wants to relax a bit.
She looks up. She says, Gelly could rest. Gelly tired. Yes, Gelly, come. And she reaches up with one of her tendrils, Renly, and she reaches up and she wraps it around your flipper. And as she does, you get like a tingling, shocking sensation through your flipper. Just travels
God.
right up your neural pathway to your mind, and you get hit with the most pleasurable, easygoing sensation.
Dude.
Is Gelly cheating on me?
Oh God.
She's just holding on to you, Renly, as you kind of tow her through the water.
I feel so happy, and I'm happy to just keep going. Yep, just point the way, Gelly.
She says, yes. Gelly gives pleasure whenever Gelly touches.
I translate that happily to Elwyn.
I go and give her a hug.
You get shocked, Ellen. You feel every nerve in your body just kind of like tingle, and it's like this scratchy, like ASMR kind of tingly feeling along the back of your neck. And you just kind of like, this nice,
Oh my God.
sighing kind of feeling.
I'm gonna go have a cigarette and a pancake.
You feel fully relaxed.
Welcome to the family, Gelly.
Gelly happy to give pleasure. Alright. So you guys are traveling along for a while. So a significant amount of time goes by. You are moving in a direction, and for it's hours. And you pass through various things. You see all kinds of underwater landmarks, passing by huge craters and canyons underneath the water, volcanoes and large mountain ranges beneath the sea, various creatures of effervescence and darkness, and some predatory creatures and stuff. You get the feeling that as you're moving, the current is gradually getting lighter, lesser and lesser. And the farther away, the weaker the current gets, the more life you're beginning to see in the area, especially under the water. Okay. By the way, that stuff with Bane's essence and Cornelius was pretty funny. I totally just made that up on the spot.
Oh my god.
That was hilarious.
This is like, how many ways can you torture Deimos? A lot,
I don't know, but it's
apparently.
pretty funny.
Deimos is a tortured soul.
So very
He's
tortured.
just
That's
a
so much
shallow
fun.
husk of the man he used to be. Looking back at his childhood, it's grainy and hard to remember.
I feel like soon he won't be a man anymore. He'll be back being a woman, or maybe, some other creature. It'll be interesting. Let's see what happens.
Deimos transcends genders.
Deimos-
Deimos is Deimos.
So all of a sudden,
Deimos is sadness incarnate.
back in your mind, you hear again. Oh yeah, Deimos. By the way, that time when you changed genders, when you were a woman, when you were rocking the V instead of the P,
Yes.
I just want because this is my job. I do take a lot of pride in doing this job here, with my little mason jar and Mr. Bane's essence. I had to, when you were rocking the V, not the P, I had to pour it on this spot on the floor, not that spot. That's all. I just wanted you to know
Oh my god!
that. Okay, bye-bye.
I'm joking first.
Wait, where's Vork in all this?
Oh, he's back in Elysium training.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
He's
in
being
BDSM
trained by
training.
Satellizer.
Yep, there's a
She's
lot
try-
of whips and chains.
She's trying to level him up.
With her sexy voice.
Hello, my name is a Satellizer.
She is amazing, and this is gonna be awesome when we get back to him, and he'll be like, "Yep, graduated or failed. Let's see."
I don't know, man. The NPCs you guys make me come up with.
Dude, you started.
I know I did.
They're freaking awesome.
All right. As you're traveling along, some time goes by and the topography changes, and Renly, you feel as Gelly has one of her tendrils wrapped around your flipper and so be pulled along by you. Suddenly you feel it tense up and a little bit more of electrical shock kind of come through that tendril. You can just feel coming through the waves, the rippling patterns around her, and through the shock and the sensations coming through her tendril. You can feel nervousness and anxiety coming through.
You okay? We going the right direction? You're aware of?
She says, Gelly afraid, Gelly frightened. She says, one coming. Gelly feels it, but Gelly knows that fire god will protect Gelly. So Gelly continues, but normally Gelly would be far, far gone from here by now.
Okay, Elwin, you're up. We have the things coming, and we should try swimming really fast and really far away, guys.
Savior will protect Gelly, right?
Gilly, I got you.
Good. She says, because
Just let us know when they're on us.
she says, oh, they're here now. She points
I
up
figured.
above you.
So-
And you guys have been looking forward, like above you, since this is a 3-dimensional kind of thing, up in the water. um, 1,000 feet away, up above you, you see this large floating thing directly above you. It's it's it's
Guys,
it's it is even though it's far away, it's still moderate. It's still fairly large. It's from your vantage point. It's a couple yards large.
okay, so here's the plan. I'll keep Gelly safe within my force field, within my Tesla fraction. Anybody that wants to stay within it is more than welcome to. But if you guys can help out more outside of it, then that's the plan. So just make sure you're at least 30 feet away from me. Hold on, is it 30?
I think it's 30. Is it 30 square?
Yeah, 30-foot
radius?
diameter.
Or 30 foot diameter. Okay, so it's 15 feet away from you.
Yeah, 15 feet away from me.
Are you sure you don't want us to like toss you at them so that you can activate that while you're in the midst of it?
Oh, that's even a better idea. I love it.
We can toss each other at things.
Deimos,
Yes,
it's time
I believe it
with
is.
our powers combined. So,
Hey.
Renly,
Hey, Elwin, I have an idea about that.
yeah, I'm all ears. Hold on for a sec, though. Renly, you're my Secretary of Defense. Your charge is to keep uh, Gelly safe. Gelly, we will take care of this menace that is coming towards us, and you will witness the power of this administration at force. It is the best administration in the history of our country.
What are you doing?
So
Are you
what's up?
running for
What's up?
election? Go!
So this is my idea. Because you're talking about going up there with your ball with Deimos and shit, right?
Mhm.
How close are we to the bottom, Midas?
A couple 100 feet.
Okay, so if we go to, let's see here, how big can I make this? We need to make it. Oh yeah, 6. Yeah, I can totally pull this off. All right, so I'll make a tower that goes like 70 feet from the bottom all the way up, and then what you need to do, Elwin, is go down in that tower about halfway, create your bubble, and it's going to basically start evaporating the water, vaporizing the water underneath it, and it'll build up pressure and launch you straight up at that thing like a cannonball.
Oh, my bubble's immovable. So as soon
Oh,
as
is it?
as soon as I
Oh,
cast
okay.
it, it's no
Oh,
one
it's
can.
fixed.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
gotcha.
fixed.
Okay,
That's
never
why
mind.
we could both use our Leviathan tails to like slam him up towards the thing, and then he could activate it as he gets to it. Maybe I don't.
Or we could just be like, "Hey, you, come down here." We're too lazy to come up to you.
All right. So what are you doing?
Well,
Okay.
I'm gonna cast just to be safe, real quick. Just in case. Let's see here, because I don't think Deimos or L1 or Tempest. So 1, 2, 3. What level was that spell? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna cast Water Breathing on L1, Deimos, and Tempest just to be safe.
Swag.
Okay.
Just to be safe. And I can do it in 2, and myself. I can do it in 2 rounds because I can cast twice per round, so I can do that in 2 rounds.
Well, you're casting water beam, but you have the orbs, the bubbles around your head.
Just in case.
Okay.
It lasts for a day, so
Okay.
it's not like any of my other low level spells do a damn thing anyway.
I'm
Alright.
gonna go Super Deimos and then activate my skull cap.
Oh, yeah. Which mode? Suck or blow?
Time to suck this boy in.
I'm gonna slam my tail against Deimos' skull cap to propel him forward. I hope he's holding Elwin.
Oh, he's already in my pants.
Great. So yeah, slamming it against your propeller.
Alright. 1 second. Let me just get this going.
I'm gonna try casting my firebolt to orbit around me. What happens to them?
They hit the water, and they just burst into like a big shock of steam and heat.
Okay, so I can't have them. Okay.
I wonder if you should like try like one day focus on those get like lightning bolts too.
Dude.
Bro. And then lightning firebolts.
All right.
Oh wait, you said you guys want to go up to it, right?
Yeah.
I totally got this. Rinley doesn't need to do that.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna become like however 300 feet tall you said that new form was, or 100 feet tall or whatever.
Uh huh.
Yeah, I'll turn into Home Slice and just throw them at it.
Okay.
I'll totally bat them over to you so that Deimos can absorb some energy in his skull cap or penis cap. I don't know what it is.
It's a
but yeah,
unicorn hat.
sure.
So it's actually a very it's like a pirate cool stylized like skull cap. Like I'm super cool, but then like it turns into like a pirate unicorn.
So let's get that fucking going on, so then you can blow. So yeah, okay, go.
You know, I could actually shoot that thing from here. Just saying.
Go for it.
Soften it up for us.
Yeah, soften
Yeah.
it up, boy.
Oh, can I try to do that? Midas, shoot at it and throw them at wherever I hit it if I hit it.
Okay. So go ahead and so it's like I said, it's about 1,000 feet away. So how far is your range?
1,000 feet.
All right. So go ahead and do your thing.
So it's a second range increment, so it's disadvantage.
Like how big is this thing?
As it
Doesn't
approaches,
matter, Deimos.
No.
as it
I
gets
really
closer
wanna
to you,
get
closer.
I
You,
think we need
I
to
mean,
put
you
it in a
figure as it starts. Your slaying gaze blasts through the water, Adis, and it's just this coursing fluorescent beam that just surges up, and you see the thing suddenly react and writhe, and it faces towards you and it begins to swim in your direction.
And I'll
You,
throw them straight at it.
all right, you manage to miss it, but what you do notice as it turns towards you is a glowing of its double stacked red eyes, kind of just
Ooh.
gazing at you.
Does it light it up enough to give a little view of its form?
Yes. As the thing begins to,
Before I throw them in.
so it's pretty big.
Oh yeah, I throw them.
I
Super
feel like that's
abolite.
an aboleth tentacle monster. Yeah.
Yep.
It's like
I
a
still
bigger
throw them.
version, yeah.
If Deimos currently being traumatized by all the wiggly tentacles, because they're in the mouth as tentacles.
Let's make a what would this be? This would be a. It's not Constitution because it's physical. It's more like
Deimos
mental
Wisdom?
Constitution. Wisdom.
Deimos is a
Wisdom
blank
prob-
slate.
Trauma.
But it's not. It's like a.
Yeah.
It's like I guess
Psychological.
it's psychological saving throw. What's it?
So maybe int.
Hold on, I can tell you which one. Because it actually says in the player's handbook which one of the stats is will.
It's wisdom.
It's probably
Is
with
it
wisdom, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
normally it's wisdom.
It seems like I have to kill this thing. My buddy's telling me that I shit myself already. Sorry about that, Helen, but we're in water and it will probably wash away. I'm gonna take that thing. I'm gonna take its tentacle things and I'm gonna make it do its tentacle things to its tentacle self, that sick fuck.
So
Same
basically, since he rolled a 1, he wants to go grab its tentacles and stick them in his butt, right?
I want
I see
retaliate.
the look. I see the look in Deimos' eyes, and I'm gonna cast as a reaction, Pepin's Undo to have him rethink the situation.
Oh my god.
Right now, he's thinking about putting tentacles in his butt.
No, a tentacle's in its own butt.
Deimos, you are currently in
Uh-huh.
a state of fear and panic. Your sphincter is clenched shut like a vice, and then suddenly you hear Elwyn whispering in your ear something about your ability to just. Let's have that thought all over again. So go ahead and re-roll your wisdom saving throw. I don't think it even works this way, but
I feel like you
Kinda.
lose your disadvantage
a
because
21
you're re-experiencing trauma.
Oh, I'm gonna say like I want to say like I'm like now like more like 21's a pretty fucking good roll if you think about it. But I'm
Alright.
like more like
so Deimos,
Edwin,
before you were
I
just gonna be
need you with
frightened.
me.
All right. Now you're frightened and confused because you had to go through the trauma twice. All right. So on the map, this creature is suddenly surging towards you.
And
Everybody-
they're surging towards it.
Everybody, roll initiative.
Oh, you're gonna make us roll initiative before I throw them?
Well, you're throwing. It's
That's-
coming at you at the same time.
Let's see here. Where's my...
Deimos, you dropped it to any. This like reverse.
oh wait, that's con, not dex.
Foresight. Oh,
I got a 22.
you imagine like how powerful Damus is going to be like once he like conquers his sphere of tentacles. He's gonna just outright just fight Cthulhu for literally no reason. One day.
All right. Top of initiative. Adis, you're first.
Alright, I'm just gonna shoot his ass again. Is he within 500 feet now?
Yeah, this is. All right. That's the scale on the map.
Okay.
No.
As long as he's within 500 feet, we're good. That hits. Oh, I can just do this on my character sheet. I always forget about that. Alright, so Stirring Gaze. Hit him. Con save. He succeeded, so he's fine.
Okay.
And can I still throw them as an item interaction?
That's gonna be an action to actually throw them and try to hurl them that far.
Okay.
Deimos, you're up. You are frightened right now and confused.
Can I roll a 50-50 die to see what I'm gonna fucking do?
Let's see here.
Damus doesn't know if he wants to be like super afraid or if he's so confused and afraid that he just wants to rip this thing in half. But like not in a good way.
Confusion says,
Roll a die and it tells you what you do.
yeah, roll a d10. You can move and act normally.
I'm not even afraid of you, you fucker. I'm just joking, I'm terrified. But I
Which means you
will
can't
go.
move towards it willingly.
Well, Angus, I hope you had fun. Have fun being dead. I'm gonna go a different direction as you die. It's good knowing you. Tell me how tentacles taste.
Oh, I can
Um,
get you closer to him.
I'm gonna go over here.
I'm holding you in my hand right now.
Yeah, nah, I'm bra. I got
Yeah, he can swim away. He can
No, I
break
know.
away. Alright. Anything else, Deimos?
No, I'm going for it, and I'm gonna take the evasive action.
Alright. At the end
Try
of
to
your turn,
grab
go
his
ahead
attention.
and make another wisdom saving throw. As you move over in this direction, you see that, on this side of it, the tentacles aren't quite as you move away from it. The mouth kind of moves out of view because you're on its side now,
Mhm.
and you don't see the mouthy tentacles anymore, so you're not frightened anymore.
Oh, thank you.
Elwin, you're up.
Okay, so 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Oh.
I'm gonna swim out of the tidy whities. And hopefully Deimos is enough out of range that this lightning bolt that I'm unleashing through the water does not electrify him. 6 levels of spell slots? What? So I'll use a 4th and 2 2s.
Ooh, nice.
I guess I don't know how like electricity would work in the water.
It goes just actually, it's hyperconductive in this electricity.
I don't know if they do
So,
it in 5e, but in previous editions, if something was submerged in water and they got hit by lightning, it did double damage.
Is
Just
this
like it halves fire damage.
Is this salt water or fresh water?
This is fresh water. It's holy water.
But is it like, is there anything else in it, or is it just straight up water?
It's water.
All right, then I'm not going to finish this sentence because it would not be good for us.
Is it pure water that has no other particulates in it whatsoever?
Well, you're near the
Actually-
aboleth, the megalith, so there's tons
Actually,
of
then it
particulates
would-
around it.
If it was cracked for that, then it would just shoot straight towards. Yeah, it'd be hyperconductive towards it.
Okay.
Would I take the damage as well? Because the lightning bolt starts from me and goes 200 feet towards it.
I was gonna
Actually,
say like
it would dissipate from you and go straight towards it. It would hate you even more.
yeah, it's just gonna hit. I mean, we could have some fun and say it like chain reactions to other creatures in the area, or it has an AOE
Yeah.
effect or something crazy like that. Like I don't know how lightning would work in water.
AoE effect. Fuck that. Fuck those tentacles.
All right,
Anyway,
but
so
Well,
here's a-
when lightning strikes water, it just goes straight down. It doesn't like cone out.
it doesn't. Okay.
No. It's only when you run like an electric current through a body of water, but even then, it doesn't hit all the water in the container.
Okay.
This
So
is
Ellen,
large.
what did you just do?
Dissipate.
I lightning bolt it 949 times 3. Spark of Insight.
Acceptable.
So, describe how you cast a spell. What do you do physically? What is your demeanor? What's your action?
Okay, so I swim. I get out of the tidy whities, so I'm not feeling protected at the moment, and I go up there. But I'm inspired by Gelly, and me keeping her promise to her and her people. I take out my new burned staff of the Magi. I push it out, and I've never used this spell before from it. This is the first time I'm going to use the enhanced lightning bolt, and I just focus all my energies, and hopefully the water carries the weight of it and impacts it even more using a spark of insight, and the lightning just travels from my staff, pushes me back a little bit because of the force, and it just flies forward and strikes the aboleth true for 2,847 damage.
Okay. Let me just see here. What did I do with the? Where's that item? What did I call it? Burnt.
I don't know. Here, I'll link the thing.
Six levels of spell slots. 40d40 lightning damage on a failed save. Reduced to half the movement speed. Oh, okay. Alright, so I was trying to figure out. So you just rolled high on average. Okay. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, the crackling blast of water surges, of lightning just surges through the water, illuminating the entire area. The whole area gets filled with like this tingly static electricity, and in the blazing aftermath of the attack, okay. You see the creature, the lightning strikes its core and then begins to radiate out. You can see it zapping and flaring, chaining between its various limbs and tentacles. And each time it bounces, it severs the tentacles. So intense is the lightning blast. So that the creature is writhing in pain, holes being punched through it as this burst of electricity just conducts through its body. Its tentacles and various appendages are falling off, ripping off. Its eyes begin to quiver. One of them bursts. The water around it begins to superheat and begins to boil around it.
Nice.
After the blast is done, the thing just floats there. Um, a few of its tentacles still moving, a little bit of light still in its eyes, but it is, on the very, very edge of its life. It literally has 39 hit points left.
Okay, so for my bonus action, I am going to cast Pepin's Nut Check on it. I'm gonna kick it in the balls.
Do it.
So, quicken.
Oh no. It'd be a shame if. It looks like that the megalith has no balls anymore.
So, at the end of the spell casting, as you cast the exploratory spell, the creature dies and begins to float just upwards towards the surface, and you come back with the objective knowledge, having realized that megaliths do not, in fact, have testicles.
Fun fact.
Where was the check? Was it fish eggs?
No.
Did I hit it in the caviar?
Oh no.
Hey,
Oh, it's so
Midas,
classy.
Yeah.
is it close
French
enough that
police.
I can take a couple of steps and grab one of the tentacles?
Did you
Yeah,
want to
yeah, they're
take
floating
its
around.
form?
Sure.
I wanna pull the whole form down and give it to Deimos, so he can give it to What's Her Face to make him some more clothes.
No,
Or
I mean, like, did
fancy
you
items.
want that form
That
to
thing-
be able to turn into one of those things?
Oh
I
yeah,
appreciate
let's
it,
try
yeah.
to. Yeah, I'll try to grab that form if I can,
Okay.
Midas.
Arcana check.
Let's see here. Thanks for
Because
reminding me.
that would be so good for Deimos and future trauma issues.
Yeah, that's true.
No success.
But yeah, Deimos is only going to try to go
Huh?
for big
fail.
boys, not that little
I
small
fail.
fry.
Okay, I'll still bring the form down to. I'll bring the form down, or no, I'll grab onto the form since it's now technically an object, and I will true polymorph it into a dagger and give it to Deimos.
Okay. So Deimos, you're holding
because remember
a tentacly dagger.
Deimos, remember we took those pieces
chucks
to
it
the
as far away as possible. Deimos
And
and
it- and
Deimos
it comes-
knock
and
it
it-
along.
and
You're
it,
just hitting. You're bringing up
wait,
all
what do you
sorts
like?
of bad news.
Wait, what kind of weapons do you like? What kind of weapons do you like?
Looks like that dagger you used to stab that innocent woman.
Oh, man. Oh wait, no, I will, Midas,
The one that you
gonna-
took her soul?
I'll true polymorph it to make it look like the armor Deimos used to wear.
No.
Covered in tentacles because it's a tentacly monster.
Yep.
So Deimos, as you're flipping out, holding this dagger, Elwyn, you feel a couple of tendrils just gently wrap around your torso and around your shoulders and arms. As they touch you, you feel a jolt of just like endorphins and relaxation and just like just tingly ASMR feelings go through your body. And you turn your head slightly and you see that Gelly is behind you with some tendrils wrapped around you, and she says, "You are a hero. You are a savior. Gelly gives you much pleasure."
After I'm done convulsing from the pleasure, I say, Gelly, we keep our promises. We're here to help. Let us keep moving.
She nods. She says, "We go."
But hold on. Come back. Hug me one more time before we go.
She wraps some more tendrils around you, and it's like when someone just like like a cat feels like when you pet it or something like that. It's just like its whole back just goes up and curls. That's exactly what it feels like.
I'm gonna get dehydrated, guys.
All right.
Yeah, I tried to. That was deliberately trying to do a show of power for her convenience.
Yeah, she's very impressed. So as you guys continue through the water, some more time goes by, and then you see that the terrain starts to change. A little bit more light is coming through around you, and Gelly says, We come close, getting near home. She pauses for a second and she looks around, she says, filaments now in water around us. She looks at you, Owen, she says, does Savior wish to travel on filament or travel in water?
Gelly, how safe do you think the waters around us are?
She looks around, she says, safe, near home
Safe.
now.
Um, Guys, I think we would benefit from being fully rested before we go into this next phase. I don't know what you guys think.
Mm-hmm. I'm down.
Sounds cool.
Renly,
So,
can you ask Gelly if it's okay if we take a rest before we meet her people? And I will definitely use the tendrils to for us to travel after we rest.
I translate that. Yes, definitely.
Gelly
I
says,
can. Good.
she says, yes, she says, rest is good. Gelly can rest and bring to people later. She says, um, she looks at you all, she says, do surface creatures sleep?
Some of them do. Um,
He says,
I kind of explained the way that Elwyn, the fire lightning gods, the way that we get our rest is we go into a trance.
she nods, she says, Gelly finds nice safe place for sleep, and then surface creatures can come sleep with Gelly.
I high five Deimos.
no, I'm out of this one. Oh, you, bro. I'll be here to give you healing.
She kind of like flitters down to the ocean floor, and it's like this huge coral reef down there. Not small coral, massive coral. So there's this huge network of caves and indentations in the ground, and you see Gelly kind of down there flitting from one spot to the other, um, until she comes to one spot and her luminescence just kind of glows more brightly in this spot, and she's looking at you, and you can see her undulating in the water, and you can feel the waves rippling, Renly, and you realize that she's signaling you to come to where she is.
Alrighty, will do.
Okay. She brings you to
When we
this
get there,
large. Yeah.
oh, sorry, go for it.
No, she brings you to this large cavernous kind of like indentation. It's not a cave. It's just like a large indentation, a large coral pocket. It's large enough to fit you all in there. She brings you in, and she has begun to pull some algae and some seaweed around, into very there's it's large stuff, so it's like actually kind of um, soft and squishy. This large stuff. It's not slimy at all. I mean, you're in the water, so there's not much slime feeling. Um, but it's enough to be comfortable to recline onto.
So we're on the bottom.
Yes.
I'm gonna make a. I'll spend 10 minutes making a Lehman's tiny hut, and then another 10 minutes casting Mordecai's private sanctum on it.
Okay.
Make sure you get some of this water in it. That way, we can put Gelly inside and she's not hurt.
I'll ritual cast another one for y'all and let water in it.
Sweet. Once we get down there, Renly, can you translate this for me?
And I'll put Mordecai's private sanctum on that one too.
Okay.
While he's doing his rituals and all that stuff, I'll ask Renly to translate that Adis is my Secretary of Education, and he's in charge of learning the cultures of the various realms that we encounter. So if she can, tell him a little bit about her people, their mannerisms, how we should approach their queen, what is good etiquette, bad etiquette, things we should avoid saying, just get a general, diplomatic sense.
Okay.
I will definitely pass it along. Yes.
All right. So
And I'll and
you're
when
telling
she
Gelly, or are you telling Adis? You're telling
I'm
Gelly?
telling Renly to translate this. That way, when Adis is done doing all his spellcasting and stuff, that she tells Adis all this
Okay.
information because he's going to be our he's a wizard. He's the bookkeeper, or secretary of education.
Okay.
And when she comes to talk, I'm gonna turn into a planetar so I know she's lying to me.
All right.
I'm gonna ask her though if that creature we met, if there's a lot of them, or if the thing's way bigger or more powerful.
She pauses. She says. She pauses, and you see a brief floating and oscillation in her form, which is their way of nodding yes. She says,
Hey Deimos,
Many
ask her if they're natural.
she says, many creatures now in sea hunt sea creatures, hunt friendly animals, hunt Gelly's people.
Okay,
She says, many of them.
but that's like an average one, and are there a ton of them?
She says, um, they not travel together, but ocean is vast and not uncommon to see them. That one quite small,
Oh yes, good.
much darker, larger, more dangerous creatures in ocean hunt, kill Gelly's people, make Gelly
Makes sense.
sad.
I thought that it was too easy, and then I look at the sky, or maybe the hell, to where Midas is at. Yes, there would definitely be the small one, wouldn't it be?
She looks at you. She says, "Are you savior as well?"
I'm actually the chief secretary of chief secretaries, so I actually just run the other secretaries.
We had the
Se-
entourage, the group help.
Yes,
What is
I'm also.
secretary?
Deimos is the one in charge of ensuring that everyone's pleasured on a daily basis.
I wouldn't say that. I'm more of the. I do more of the Deimos work.
No,
Should
he's
Gelly?
he's he's my press secretary.
Should
Press. I'm his hyperman.
she says? Should Gelly give you pleasure?
Nope, Deimos doesn't do pleasure.
Deimos,
Deimos is a
I think
Deimos
you
is a
deserve.
broken soul. Deimos is dead on the inside for the next
Gelly.
23 hours.
Gelly, give him some
Yes?
pleasure.
She says, Gelly give greatest pleasure. Come, we rest. Come sleep with Gelly.
Nope, Deimos is get
You
me
can come
once.
in.
They said
You can come in
last
this.
last
Come in
time I
this
heard
dome.
that is I got stabbed by a lady who looked like a zombie.
Deimos, Smoky Eye,
You
let's
did.
come.
That was a
Deimos,
long time ago.
Deimos, if you come in this tiny hut, she can't touch you.
Uh,
And as you say that, Gelly, I think, taps him with a tentacle.
Oh yeah. A tendril wraps around your, just touches your arm. They don't look like tentacles. They're more like they're flat, like flat noodles instead of round noodles. Like,
Deimos screams.
right?
yeah.
But as it does, it's an electric kind of tingly sensation that goes up your back, and you you can feel both the tensing and releasing of stress. And you didn't know you're carrying this much stress. Like your shoulder muscles just kind of relax, and you realize that they've been really sore because they've been so tight for so long. And as you wrap some more tentacles and some more tendrils around you, yeah, your sphincter relaxes finally. It's been
At
clenched
least
tight
it's not like in hell.
for
That was a
for
terrible
hours.
sphincter release.
Deimos, you feel like you're in your training and your self discipline. You've been done so much workout and the training and the tightening of muscles. You've never really learned how to relax them. And for the first time, and as long as you can remember, um, just true physical relaxation just passes through you. Um, it's like it's like a huge endorphin dump. You realize that this is a piece of your life that you've been missing incredibly so.
You fart and sneeze at the same time.
I shit myself.
The whitey the magical tidy whiteys do not they are incredibly stain resistant. So you feel a pocket behind you, but they do not brown.
Well, guys, I said it before and I say it again. I was just gonna be a farmer, but no, they said he's just dragging through the lands and just getting fucked on, and jellyfish ladies make my shoulders feel good. And I must leave this one off, guys. I don't even know what's going on anymore.
You're in the water, and
Tiny hut is that away.
you feel the tentacles pulling you down to one of the seaweed beds, and just come. She says, "Sleep with Gelly. Gelly give much
Nope.
pleasure."
It's impossible. I will use the great and powerful move called Elwyn Tether, and then get the fuck out of Dodge.
Wait, if you use it, do
Elwyn,
you go to Elwyn? I thought you pull Elwyn to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
like you're the group.
Remember,
No, what's up?
remember we modified it that it's mutual. So
I'm pulling
Elwyn,
Elwyn to me
you feel
and switching
the
places.
pull begin, Elwyn.
And
the tether.
you see a soldier salute as Damos salutes Elwyn as he's getting pulled into the brush.
Elwyn,
with this
do you
lady.
resist the pull or do you keep the pull?
I can't resist.
You get sucked in, and all of a sudden, it's all three of you just tangled in a bed of seaweed, wrapped
No,
up in
I'm getting
Gelly's
out of this one.
tendrils.
I'm trying to get out.
Elwyn, you feel
I'm gonna-
suddenly
I'm gonna-
relaxed and tingly.
Do I see this? Do I
I'm
see
gonna
this?
put my
Midas?
finger up to Damos's lips and go shh 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 shh.
Uh,
It's meant to be.
Midas,
Damos
do I
is
see this?
pass out.
Yeah, you see them.
Do I
You see
see
it happen.
this?
You see them. You
I
see them
cast it.
all clustered together, bundled together in a on a bed of seaweed.
I cast a 9th level force cage around them.
And
I'm so cool with that.
so for the next 8 hours, all of you just kind of just sit there and like you're lying down on the seaweed, and just like all of Gelly's tendrils are wrapped around you both, and you guys are kind of like tied up together since the tether pulls you like in super close proximity to each other. You guys are full embracing each other, and Gelly has wrapped a bunch of tentacles around you, kind of like a burrito, or like a
This
go on.
it's like a retreat that companies use to bring employees closer together.
Yeah.
But on a more personal level.
And you guys are just lying on this bed of seaweed together for
We're gonna
8
get
hours.
so many skills out of this, Damos.
we're gonna be so much productive at work now.
Completely relaxed, and Gelly is just there reclining next to you, and you can hear her just kind of like humming to herself. Just she sleeps as well. She goes to sleep, and just the humming continues, and you can feel the energy, which is just part of her physicality. The electrical nature of her body just has a calming effect on the nervous systems of other creatures.
Now, we were talking about this earlier. Our menstrual cycles truly did sync now.
Oh man! All right, and so Adis and Renly, what are you guys doing for the night?
All right. So
I'm just
Renly's
chilling
not
in
here,
my
so
hut.
I'll. Renly is.
Hmm?
Oh no.
What happened?
Is
Oh,
this
no.
the first time that you're not?
I have nothing. I'm
You got
I'm so I'm Renly's gonna draw a dick picture in Aegis' face. I can't think of anything, guys.
Oh,
I'm out of it
she's
today.
like she's gone.
Today's a bad day.
Adis, what are you doing for the evening?
You know what? Actually, Renly is going to strip.
She's like, "Oh, I'm Renly. Let me smoke some of this stuff, and I'll put on this really skimpy bathing suit. No one tell me about it, because I'm gonna forget. I had this really skimpy bathing suit, and oh, don't worry about my couple tramp stamps. No one notices. No one tell me, but it's on 24/7 until
She's
we're
got
out of the water.
coded. What was his name? Codatin.
Kotinnen? Yeah,
Good.
Kotinnen.
Yeah. His face on right on top of her butt dimples.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, how old is she? No,
And you can really tell that she's been doing the squat machine. Like,
so
Just
so
like,
Ren,
let me.
so Renly has a tramp stamp from when she just turned 18, when she was legally
Mhm.
able to get it. And remember, she's a halfling. No, she's a gnome. She's 280 years old now.
yeah,
So
208-year-old in a speedo. I mean, not speedo, but a very skimpy bikini. It's mostly string on the top part too.
Them-
oh,
No one body shame me. I'm Renly, and I'm sticking to this store.
Small boobs, huge nipples.
You guys have problems.
You should see the shit show.
Oh, that's so bad.
Anyway, so the night goes by, and you all get a long rest. Okay.
Yeah, the next morning,
Yep.
as soon as I remember, um, I'll fill in Adis because I asked Renly to tell him to ask about their mannerisms and all that. Did you get that, Adis?
Yeah, but you guys were having too much fun.
Okay, so as long as you got that info, we're cool.
Well, I couldn't really talk to her while she was busy getting you guys off.
Oh, do you mind getting that now?
Okay, so what happened?
So I'll turn into a planetary and I'll ask her to basically tell us all of their what do you call it? Their codes and etiquette,
Okay. She says,
and learn about their people and stuff.
okay. So into the evening, as as Elwyn and Deimos, wrapped in embracing each other, have long since drifted off to sleep.
I'm
Blissful
the small
sleep.
spoon.
Gelly is just sitting there. Is just lying there in the seaweed. Adis, as you kind of like swim up next to her, and you
Oh no,
begin
I
to.
stay in my dome.
Right. Well, we ask her questions. You can hear her.
Yeah.
And she begins to talk to you. She says, Renly is Zoverai. We all here are Zoverai. That is our people. We come from different shapes and type, but all Zoverai. All come from the dreams of Valkyr, god of waves. He thinks us into being, and we live and thrive below ocean waves for a long time. We have cities, ancient, old. We have art. We have culture. We all exist to serve Valkyr. And then, she says, and then, time ago, many cycles of the tides ago, all change. Creatures come to Lunaria, come to ocean. Hear screams of 10,000 10,000s from above water. See large beings enter water. And great maw opens up in Lunaria. And world begins to die. Shattering rock, breaking land, devouring and consuming water. Many Zoverai die. Large creatures come, eat, kill, tear many Zoverai. And then large creatures leave. And now some things left. Very few Zoverai left. And nothing from land. All land creatures quiet. You see her kind of pause and just like going somber as she's recounted the story of what's gone on in Lunaria.
All land. Gelly, is there no land left?
She says, much land left, but broken, and slowly eaten by great maw. She kind of draws down. She reaches over to one of her tendrils flicks out. She says, Lunaria once, great ocean, and great piece of land, on which goddess Saloon governed and had many people, many cultures, many races, all over, temples, cities, she said, and land creatures kind to Zoverai. Gelly young, but Gelly remember happy time. Now, now land broken, now land shattered, and now land being devoured. And ocean as well. Okay?
What's what's in the bottom of the mall?
She says, Gelly not know. Nothing can see there. Nothing can travel there and come back and tell. Even Gelly's filaments and tendrils cannot touch bottom of maw.
Well, shit.
I concur.
So you're learning that this whole thing was was a solid landmass before,
Mm-hmm.
and now
Has
there's
she
shattered
told any
fragments,
lies?
are all that's left.
What would be an awkwardness check for the next morning between me and Delos?
It's impossible.
Yeah, it
Roll,
is.
roll,
I'm sorry.
roll,
Nah.
roll, roll for shame.
Hold on. Before they wake up, I'm
Mhm.
gonna cast Renly's black tentacles and have them push them together and entwine them.
All right, before Adis wakes up, I'm gonna cast Sever Butthole Shut. What it does, it severs his butthole shut.
There is no shame in our game, Deimos.
There's
Don't
no
even
shit,
try.
dude. I'm like, I mean, if this is the worst we did, I'm pretty sure like dick to butt in one pair of white teddies. This is child's play. We don't give a fuck.
What's the next thing for best friends?
You know, bro.
Oh,
Hey,
we're it's guy love, like that video I posted from Scrubs.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
they'll never say no homo, so I feel like it's very much like, yeah, no, y'all are very happy together. This is the longest relationship y'all have ever had.
It's not gay,
I mean,
alright.
come on. Last session, you let him tentacle you, Deimos.
bros gotta help bros out, bro.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like, I'm sure there are shippers out there going, yeah, no, Davis and Elwin are meant to be.
But you're wrong.
We have our side piece, ladies.
Yeah, we're just bros, and we're helping bros out.
Yeah,
we just
but they just
just because we
generate
chug
true
white
love.
claws doesn't mean nothing.
Now you're just in denial.
Hey, Deimos.
Yo,
This is the land of D&D with a simple spell. It ain't homo. I can make you a girl, make him a girl. And it's all
with
good.
a simple spell, I can make you not have a wiener. It's
Yes,
called rip it
let's
off.
just,
Athletics
yeah,
check.
y'all can be lesbians.
Like, oh, it's such a pity you can't enter my dome.
It's such a pity that I broke it.
You can't break it.
Yes, I can. I break your force cage. I break your dome.
Yeah,
I
you
got
probably
this.
did.
Deimos don't give a fuck.
I can penetrate anything and anyone. I
Oh
got
wait,
it. We'll get in.
actually,
I
speaking
guess
of
anti-magic
speaking of
shield
which,
as I slowly walk up on him.
actually, speaking of
Stealth
which,
check.
oh no, that
He
would have been
doesn't even see me coming.
Ninja Deimos.
my passive perception's like 10 times more than, or 6, 12,
10
10
times more
better
than my
that.
nat one. Bullshit.
Actually, it's 18 times higher than your nat one.
Deimos,
Deimos did so bad at stealth, he thinks he's being stealthy, but he's really just banging pots and pans.
That's,
Yeah.
that's Ninja
Okay, Renly.
Deimos
No,
when he
no.
rolls in that one.
With your nat one. You're walking around yelling what you're gonna do while crouching like you're stealthy.
So
I
Gelly,
yell out
He's
everything
telling
that's
you.
going through my.
He's telling you you can't see him.
so Gelly is going to as you guys are so this is the morning time. You guys are talking and kind of bickering about um Gelly
Our
says
relationship.
she says oh says we have she says Zoverai friend come Gelly Gelly knows we're close to home and others in the area. Yeah, well we can start wrapping it up. She says they sense Gelly's presence while we rest, and while Gelly gives you two saviors pleasure. Was pleasure good?
It is acceptable.
Gilly never rolled a performance check.
It's all right.
She says, Gelly will try harder next time. But she looks up.
Oh, it
and she- oh, go on.
doesn't take much to please them too.
You look up and you see a few figures swimming in your direction. They're humanoid in size. They're your size, maybe slightly larger, but nothing crazy.
Yo, what's up, weaklings?
They let's see here. Where's my picture? So where's my? Okay, I'll use this one here. You see another creature swimming through the water, right? A couple of them coming and flanked by other creatures. They are kind of like Gelly in that they are humanoid and also aquatic in form. These are of a decidedly different species or different shape and they were born from a different thought pattern or different category of thoughts of the gods. And this one makes its way up to you. An ominous look in its eyes. Its eyes are white and kind of stern as she just like stands before you and says, you hear floating, passing through the water, says, Gelly, you bring intruders. What have done? You break law of Zoverai? And
Ooh, she looks so cool.
Gelly says, Priscilla, no, these not intruders, these saviors. This one, she points at you, Elwyn, this one is God.
Superhero pose.
And and when he does his superhero pose, Deimos, since or not Deimos, but Elwyn or Midas, I kept the little dagger, and I'm gonna flick it out behind Elwyn and release the true polymorph on it.
Okay. And what are you doing?
It's that huge thing that we killed.
Okay. So the floating megalith is behind you guys, and Priscilla just and her kind just so there's three of them. They all look kind of similar to Priscilla, but Priscilla is the largest one. They kind of flicker backwards, and Gelly herself she covers her mouth in shock, and Priscilla looks at you and says, "You are God, you tell Gelly. Gelly is gullible. Priscilla not believe that. Priscilla knows you, land dwellers, liars, try to use your Verai."
I'm gonna have my
Just for
Secretary of Defense interpret that for me.
just
I
for the
translate
record,
it.
we never said we were gods.
I
Did we, Elwin?
I am the fire, thunder god from the sky, from the realms I come from.
Jesus Christ!
I'm not
translated happily.
I am 100% not lying. I was worshipped in our back in
Yep.
our realm, and I have never said anything different. I said I am the thunder, the fire, thunder god from the sky, from where I come from, and we are here to save your people, like Gelly has stated.
Priscilla pauses and says, "Pathetic looking god. But not for Priscilla decide. We bring you to Queen." She looks at you all carefully. She says, You all, you all. She stares at you closely. She says, You act wrong. You show meanness. You show frighten. And Zoverai will come down upon you and kill you beneath waves.
Well, Elwin looks like they don't want to be saved. Time to go.
Hold
Might
on.
as well
There's
just
like
leave
a
them to die.
delay. There's like a delay on the interpretation. So I like before she's like that last part where she threatened us, I start speaking, and I say, "And we shall allow you to bring us to your people. They will have the pleasure of having us in their presence."
I'll add in
Yeah, Elwin,
customary
Elwin,
to
I
die
don't think they want to be
fast.
saved. I think we should just leave them and let them die.
That's not
Priscilla,
us, bro.
you have been
I
graced by
wink at Elwin. Oh wait, he can't see it because I'm wearing a mask. I give him kind of a head nod.
Roll performance.
Sure.
Priscilla, you have been graced by a great,
I get the
great,
point
powerful
across.
being that has not only just saved Elysium, but is here for you now.
We
So-
might be weirdos, but we are good in the heart region.
Everyone has issues. And it seems like your previous deities had issues. Where our issues are just the right type of issues.
She says, Gelly says, Yes, Priscilla. These not like other land dwellers. This one is God, likes Gelly's touch and sleep with Gelly. This one here speaks to self in head, does strange things, touches white clothing on self, but also likes Gelly's touch and takes pleasure from Gelly. These other two shape changers, they are saviors, they say. Priscilla looks at you very strangely. She says, You know, bring weapon. You come to a city. We show you. First land dwellers in long time come.
What's the one girl's, the naive girl's name again?
Gelly?
Gelly.
Yeah, Gelly. I look at Gelly and I'm like, hey Gelly, I thought you said your people like liked land dwellers. Why is this chick such a bitch?
She says, Priscilla is a very type come from Vercule, made to be guardians, made to be suspicious, made to be cautious. Priscilla is not bad, great warrior. Protects city of Lumos, protects Queen Delvinia. Come, Gelly show.
Sounds good. Lead the way.
I'll
How
turn
many?
the.
How
I'll
many of
turn-
them are there?
There's three. So it's Priscilla and her two companions that are similar to her.
Okay, so again, asking Renly to
Oh,
interpret.
I keep translating. Yeah.
I say, Gelly, would tell Priscilla if she has one of the the tendrils that leads back to your place, and I can that way I can demonstrate that we have the power to traverse these lines back to your homeland, so she knows that we're worthy.
Gelly says, Priscilla cannot, but Gelly can show here. And she raises one of her tendrils and illuminates. And as it does, suddenly around you, you see a few luminescent threads also illuminate. It says, Gelly's kind are only ones with tendrils. Here, she says, this one related to Gelly. We friends were in youth. Come, follow this line.
We should probably wait for them to get there so we don't show up when they're not there.
Oh no, I'm bringing them with us.
Oh, okay.
So you can grab onto the tendril, and you can transport along it just like you did before.
Okay, and I'll make sure that Priscilla, her peeps, Gelly, and all of us travel through it.
Okay. As you do, you cast the spell, and there's a shimmering burst, and you guys zip along through the water. Leagues and leagues zip by, fly by, and you emerge with a gasp. Priscilla goes, she says, Land dwellers. She looks around. She says, You have come through defensive lines. You have brought us to doorstep of city. How you do?
Fire god from the sky.
God powers,
And Gelly.
please do not speak disrespectfully towards a god.
She says,
It is rude. We
It's
come
Pris-
to save you, and you're just being rude.
she says, Priscilla. Saviors respond well to touch of Gelly and Gelly's type. See, we've home. You look around, and for the first time you see it, this is that you, even though you're at the bottom of the ocean, this is a spot of bright light. All around you, you see glistening corals and luminescent rocks and stuff around you. And in front of you, you see a large, for lack of a better word, underground city. Um, Glittered and with architecture and structures that are atop of them adorning luminescent crystals. All around it is a barrier, kind of like the barrier that you have around your heads, but not, but of a different type. Priscilla points and says, "Very well. Says, Behold, city of Lumos, capital and last remaining bastion of Zoverai, home to Queen Delvinia and royal court." Okay,
Whoa.
and so this
Oh,
is
by
where.
Ooh, cool.
to the sea.
So
By
this,
the
this
way, before we left, I
yeah,
put
this
the
is about
corpse
where we'll
back
end
into
it for
the
tonight.
dagger.
You put the megalith back into the dagger. All right, so this is where we'll call it for tonight. You guys are on the outskirts
Awesome.
of the city of Lumos.
This is
Appreciate
gonna
you,
be so
Ryan.
sweet. Yeah.
This is gonna be dope.
Deimos is gonna get us all killed.
I cannot
Wow.
wait.
Deimos is like super good boy.
Oh, Deimos
You-
is my press secretary.
You're
Whatever.
supposed to steal
This-
from the queen.
You gotta
This
steal
will
a
go well.
You gotta
First
steal a
off.
dildo from the queen. We're
Yes.
sister.
Yeah.
And it's
That'll be
definitely gonna happen.
Yep.
That's right, you guys. That's right. That's Sad Elijah's quest for you, right?
Yep,
Yep.
it's happening.
All right. So all right. So let's see here.